The Rebbe brings from Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yeshua in the Gemara in Rosh Hashanah that when they had a controversy, when Yom Kippur is, one said Yom Kippur is on one day, one said another. So when one consented to the other, conceded to the other one said it's not enough. Come to me on the day that you considered Yom Kippur with your money and everything you have to show that this is a complete weekday. So the Rebbe says this means that when it comes to halacha, it has to come down in a practical sense, and he's completely conceding to the second opinion, second side. This is what it means. There's two inyanim. There's Eilu va'Eilu divrei Elikim Chaim. When it comes to two opinions, both of them are divrei Elikim Chaim, words of Hashem. One comes through Chesed, one comes through Gvura, like Hillel and Shammai. One is more lenient, one is stricter, more stringent. When it comes to halacha is one opinion. Halacha kameise gilui Shem Havaya is the gilui, the revelation of Shem Havaya. In other words, when it comes to Shem Elate Elo ve'Elo divrei Elikim Chayim, is divrei Elikim. It's Elikim, which shows on a ribuy, on many, because there can be many opinions. The word Elikim, as Rashi brings in Chumash, is also the inyan of Lashon Rabin. Shasa, when it comes to Havaya, by Havaya is the inyan of Achdus. Mitzad the Beetle and the Gilui of Havaya is the inyan of Achdus. Over there, it has to be halacha like one, not like both together. And therefore, we find also, you see in 39 Sanhedrin, that this was a inyan between David and Yehonasan. There was a difference in opinion, and Chatchila Eilu ve'Eilu divrei Elikim Chaim, both are right. Bishasa, but Yehonasan heard Havaya imei v'halacha kameise like David. That's when he gave up. That's when he knew it's final already, that David is the one that halacha kameise. And that is also mentioned in the Giyah to the Alter Rebbe, that in the Alter Rebbe wrote the Shulchan Aruch, so it's mentioned around the Shulchan Aruch, the Alter Rebbe, that it's Havaya, that it was Lamaila, they were maskim with the Mezritcha Magid. Mezritcha Magid chose the Alter Rebbe to write it amongst three Talmidim, and the Alter Rebbe was chosen because Havaya imei halacha kameise. That's how the sons of the Alter Rebbe write an introduction to the Shulchan Aruch. Because through this a person is mekaven lerotzna elyon. In other words, and then he manages to be in accordance with rotzna elyon, with the words of Hashem, the will of Hashem, because this is what halacha means. Va'ad lebalo rotzn. To the Eibishter is higher than individual rotzn, which this is the union of nasa v'nishma. There is nasa and there's nishma. Nishma means understanding. Nasa means doing. Which one is a higher beetle? The beetle of Nasa, the doing. Understanding it, there's Chach Seichel, there's a Metzias of Seichel. It's involved, it's intellect. As we say about Nasa is the completion of Maisa. Maisa is the Tachas HaShleimus of beetle. That it even penetrates its lowest level. Which this is also the inyan, as Chassidus explains, the Rebbe Marash explains, there's the inyan of Nasa v'Nishma. Nasa v'Nishma is that the Rebbe Marash explains it like this. Nishma means Kabbalas il mitzvahs. A person takes upon himself the yoke of a mitzvah. He was told to put on tefillin, he puts on tefillin. He was told to eat matzah, he eats matzah. He was told Leisha Basukkah, he sits in the sukkah. But actually, this is only the detailed aspect of the mitzvah. The detailed aspect of the mitzvah is to do this or to do that. Matzah, Pesach, Kashrus. These are all pratistic mitzvahs. But there is a common denominator in all the mitzvahs, and that is the Rotzno Elyon, the Rotzno of the Eibishter. Which means he's doing the mitzvah not only because there's an individual Rotzno, the Eibishter wants him to put on film, phylacteries, or to eat matzah, and so on and so forth. But he's doing it because it is the one that told him to do it, is the Eibishter. And he took upon himself the yoke of Hashem's kingdom. This is called El Malchus Shamayim. So there's El Malchus Shamayim, the yoke of Hashem's kingdom, then there's El Mitzvahs, the yoke of mitzvahs. This is the difference between the first parsha of Krishma and the second parsha of Krishma. The first portion of Krishma is Shema and V'ahavta. This is the inyan of total commitment to Hashem, El Malchus Shamayim, especially Shema Yisrael. And Shema Yisrael is one of the 10 psukim that we say in Malchiyos Rosh Hashanah. And the Rebbe once in Tafshin Chof began a Maimer Shema Yisrael, Rosh Hashanah Maimer Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. This is Psukim Malchias. So this is mamish a total commitment to Hashem. But then there is El Mitzvahs, V'hayim Shameya, that's already coming down to El Mitzvahs. Where do we see it in mitzvahs? We see it in every bracha we make on a mitzvah. There's two sections to the bracha. Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvaysa b'tzivano, and then there's Al Achilas Matzah, or the Rameitza, or the Nishka Mitzvahs Abichas Hanenin, or Leisha Basukah, or Laniach Tfilin Lahadlik Neir Shabbos Kedesh. This is all individual mitzvahs. So Chassidus explains that in every mitzvah there are two things. There is a general inyan in all the mitzvahs, a common denominator, which is that this is commanded by Hashem. Male, it's no difference, this mitzvah, that mitzvah, it all comes from the same source. Then there is an individual reflection on this mitzvah, which is tefillin or sukkah or matzah or another, or Neir Shabbos Kedesh. So b'meila, you have over here actually two inyanim in every mitzvah. You have the El mitzvah, the yoke of the individual mitzvah, which is the kavanah of the mitzvah. Then you have the Ratzon Elyon, the will of Hashem, which is the Baal HaRatzon. Committing yourself to the Eibush as he's higher than the specific mitzvah. And that is Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvaysa v'tzivanu. That he has sanctified us, commanded us. This is all the mitzvahs are equal. In every blessing of a mitzvah we say that. So Chassidus explains this is the union of Nasa v'Nishma. Nishma is the individual mitzvah. Nasa means committing oneself completely to the Baal HaRatzon, to the one that is issuing all these commandments. And even before he issues it, you are already committing yourself to him. That whatever he'll say, you'll do. So this is a total commitment, and a very strong commitment, because you don't even know what he's going to say, and you're already jumping for it. And this is how Chassidus explains what Nasa v'Nishma means. Bittul the Baal HaRatzon. Bittul not only to the Ratzon, to this mitzvah, but bittul to the Eibishter before he even tells us what to do. So this is what the Rebbe is mentioning here. He's bottled to the Ratzon Elyon even higher yet, to the Eibishter himself. As mentioned earlier in a Maimer, which the Rebbe probably said on the eve, on the Erev of Shavous, in the Fabrengen of Erev Shavous. The Rebbe would customarily Fabreng from 1972 to 1987, through 87. The Rebbe Fabreng the night before Erev Shavous, and then the Rebbe Fabreng the second day Shavous. The night before Erev Shavous, the Rebbe would say a Maimer, a Shavous Maimer. The Rebbe would conclude the Masechta Seita. Many times the Rebbe would make would elaborate on the conclusion of the tractate of Seita, which is being studied the 49 days of Svira. And then the second day Shavuos, the Rebbe would Fabreng again. So there were actually two Fabrengens in 2 days. So this is what the Rebbe is referring to as the earlier Maimah that he said the night before Erev Shavuos. Now the Rebbe continues. That not only that these days are being remembered and enacted from year to year, that in addition to that, every year there's Amshacha, there is a drawing down from above on a greater scale, a greater measurement and strength. As it is mentioned in Igeres HaKedesh, that every year comes down when it comes to this certain day, a certain day which we mark a new season, a new year, a new cycle. So it comes down, descends a heavenly revelation, a new one that did not shine me'elam, that didn't shine before, was never revealed before. Adayin Eir Elyon Kazer. So the Rebbe says, the mitam ze razal she'yeh beinecha chadoshim. There's two versions. There's one version that says, yeh beinecha kachadoshim. The Torah should be as new. Another one is chadoshim. So the Rebbe says, where does a person get that chayis from? Because a new revelation came down this year, which wasn't last year. Since this is a tzivui in the true Torah, from this we understand that this is the truth. The mitzvahs are mamish chadoshim. What is the reason for all this? ki yered eirelyan chodesh aloy hoya meir meila. Comes